Okay, I have switched this off and on in you. Maybe it works now because I hear myself. The only thing I have done is basically go to the computer sound and turn off the mic and turn on the mic again. I don't know if that has worked or not. So I will wait for confirmation from the chat. Okay, so I will have to start again, I guess. Okay, let's see if I can pull off the drawings that I have already taken out of the screen. Let's see, image download. Because I have already done two of the girls. Okay, that's unsupported file format, of course. Of course it is. How do I do this? We'll have to download new image. Let's see. This image, it's a nope. Everything is WebP, so basically it's very hard to find any kind of image that fits into a program. No WebP. This one, WebP, of course, everything is WebP. This should be maybe. Okay, this one works, and the other I have done is Chloe. So let's see. Chloe. Maybe. Okay, so I will repeat what I said at the beginning that obviously hasn't been here. So basically, I reached the part in Unicorn Overlord in which they tell you that you have to marry a person to unlock the powers of the ring that you have, the unicorn ring. And basically, it's like there's so many waifus in this game that it's like, who the fuck I'm going to pick? And I'm trying to narrow it down. So I'd say, okay, let's do it in like a streaming and make like tiers and so where the characters are. And maybe I narrow it down a little. So basically, yeah, the game is basically a medieval fantasy game, and evil overlord conquers the entire land, and you go to hiding into an island, and you spend 10 years there, and you come back to try to take back everything. So the first character, I mean, they are already, I have already put both of them in the tiers, but okay. Like the first character that you find is Scarlet. It's like I don't know if to say that she's the canonical uh, wife of the protagonist, because a thing that happens in this game is that basically there's only one character that by story has any kind of romantic interaction with the protagonist, and even if you do the support interactions, each character has like three support, but not all of them have cinematics with interaction with characters. Some of them have two or even one. But most of the characters, even in the super interactions, have like basically no romantic connection whatsoever. It's just they have random conversations, and when you reach the third, you can marry them, because that's how apparently it works in medieval times. So basically, this is like the first girl, childhood friend, typical stereotype of girl that you say, yeah, this is going to be the one, I guess, that canonically marries him, but you can choose whatever. So visually speaking, I like her. Like there are a couple of good reasons to like her. I like the hair too. because it's kind of like the Oyo-sama hair, but she doesn't have Oyo-sama personality. She has like the typical mute personality that the protagonist girl has. Like she doesn't have much of a personality, so I don't really like her that much. But the design is cool, so that's why I put her in A because of the design, and she drops kind of some points because she doesn't have that much of a personality. And the next character you find is Chloe, which is uh, I don't really like the design much. I don't like her personality much. But aside of that, there is an issue with this kind of characters that there are some characters that you see in the story that uh, very obviously will be like the canonical couple of another character. Like it's like when you play Persona 5 and there's Anne and uh, who was the blonde guy called Ryuji. I think it's Ryuji. Like you see the interactions, and it's like they are obviously like the canonical couple. Like you can try to date Anne, but it feels kind of like you are interfering into a story. Like if you romance that character, you are taking away the character from a canonical couple, and you're making them not be a couple. So it feels a little weird. It's kind of a turn off sometimes. And it happens in this game too. Like there are some characters that you say it's very obvious that if you don't do anything, these two characters are a couple. And one of them is Chloe with Lex, which is the male childhood friend of the protagonist. So combining all of those things, I will say that the character goes to a C because I don't like her too much, and she also has like she's probably going to be Lex wife. So let's see what more we have here. Okay, and this is the character I was before. Okay, it's I think it's called Shannon or Sarol or something like that. She's not very interesting, so I don't remember the name. She's like the typical traditional wife for a traditional right-wing family, so to speak. Like she's like a mother, like personality mother. She doesn't really have much going on for her. I'm guessing that she's going to be popular with a certain section, like the traditionalist section who wants a traditional wife. Probably she's going to be popular. For me, she's not really anything interesting, so I'm going to put her on a D. And let's see the next character. Okay, Oakley's. I think this character will put in something like Oakley's. She's, I think they are called Featherwing or something like that. It's a race of like angels or something. And she appears at the beginning of the game, and you have a quest with her and Shannon. This is another thing. It's like I'm not sure if she's like a lesbian couple with the previous character, the cleric, because they have like a quest in which they look for each other. But in any case, she doesn't have much interaction because she's like she doesn't go with you. She has like a story, and you can buy things from her, and she's like there. So you don't see much of her personality. The design, I think, is absolutely top. Like design wise, I'm going to I'm going to put the character in an A and maybe even a low S because I like the design a lot. Like maybe some no, like this, like something like that. Maybe if I think that she becomes playable later, and maybe you have interactions with her that I like more, I will maybe put her in an S. But for now, she's like an A plus, so to speak. Let's see. Yana. So this character is supposedly like an old witch, like 100 years old, and she used magic to turn her body young again. So in that regard, it's kind of weird, but I mean, this is a game in which there are elves who have like hundreds of years old. So if you look at it from that perspective, it's not that weird, I guess. I mean, I guess that is not the same. Probably like an elf who has 100 years old is probably like a very young person for an elf, and their personality is not the same than if you literally pick a old grandma and put her in a younger body. But the design is very very hot. So I'm going to put her. Let's see. I think it's kind of an S. Like if you don't think too much about the she's a grandma in a young body, like in the new anime of the Jisambas, and if you don't think too much about that, she's an S. And let's see. Like her personality is kind of like she's always looking up for the protagonist. Uh, I think if you do her support interaction, there is a point in which she doesn't say it out loud, but she kind of suggests that she likes you, which is not very common in this game. Most of the characters don't say anything. Let's see. Okay, Berenice. I don't really like her. Like, I'm not at all against like muscled characters. I draw them myself, but I think they went a little weird with this one because it's like blocks of, of meat or something. It's like a weird body composition for the character. Her personality is also nothing to say about. It's like very basic, I think. So I don't really find her interesting. So she's going to go for a D. And there's not really much to say about her, honestly. Okay, let's see. Okay, Sylvie. Sylvie, I haven't found any better image than this because this is the promoted image. The thing is that in the normal image, she's like super hunched down and she has a very weird pose and you can't see her very well. But in the promoted version, she's straight and you can see that she is very, very sexy. Like normally, the pose that she usually has is very weird. So I'm guessing this woman is going to have a lot of back problems when grows older. Uh, Personality-wise, she's the kind of character that doesn't care about you or anything. She's like does her own things. She has like an investigation into the spirits and things like that that she doesn't really care about anything. So I'm guessing that this girl as a wife will be like the sex will be very good, but then she will go like she wouldn't care and go away to do whatever, and she doesn't care about you or anything. Seems like something like that. So I'm going to. Oh, we jumped this one. Mm, I will have to check on that. But okay, Sylvie. Design-wise, I think she's an S. The personality takes her a little down, so it's probably going to be like a low S or a very high A. We will maybe modify this later. Uh, Let me. No, Nina comes now. Okay, Nina. Like this is from the typical class that is like small character but huge hammer, very strong units. The design I don't really like much. The design, like the face is like very typical, like common girl with ponytail, and the body is kind of weird. Like she's small and thin, but also like super muscle. Personality wise, she's kind of a very happy girl, but doesn't has much interest in interactions with her, so it's not really an interesting character. Let's put her in a C, something like this. Okay, let's see. Next is okay, Fran. This this is a 10. Like Fran is wow. Like I love the design of her and also the it's not in movement, but when it's in movement, like all of the clothes are like moving all the time. It's very cool to see. I think she's very hot, very pretty, and her personality is like yeah, she's how to say, not how to explain it. Like she loves the Griffon very much, and she tries to tell people how Griffons are like super cool, and she teaches the protagonist to ride the Griffon and things like that. She's very cool. She's definitely one of the options that I will have for uh, for waifu. I will say so. I'm going to put her over here probably. She's definitely one of my options. Let's see more. Mm-mm-mm. Medium. Okay, medium is kind of like the darkness of this game, but not in the sadomaso games. Like she's a very stoic character, but not so much stoic that she will be stupid. uh, so yeah, maybe not that much like darkness. Darkness is stupid, but yeah, she's like the stoic character with her feet on the ground. I think she's cool. Probably not to be the wife character uh, when you account the other characters that are in the game. But I sound way more Spanish than you thought. It's maybe because I am Spanish, just a guess. But let's see. I'm going to put. I'm going to put an A. Yes, over here feels about right. Let's see. More characters. Okay, Kaitra. I think this is pronounced Kaitra. I have absolutely no fucking idea. Kaitra. In Spanish, we will say Kitra, and that's fucking it. I love these ponytails, weird ponytails. They are interesting. I have to say that her design in the art and her design in the game, yes, do not match at all. Like she's super serious in the game, and then you see the art and is like super happy. Since that there was some miscommunication between the person who did the concept art and the ones who did the game. It's an interesting character. Not as much. I mean, I think that she's in the same body type and class as Nina, but she's definitely better. Not to say that she's one of the compared to the top waifu materials, but she's probably, let's see, a high B probably. It's something like that. Let's see, let's see. Next character. Okay, Melisandre is top. She's definitely top. She is like I love the design. Her personality in the game is like she wants to fight strong enemies, and could be interesting to see her combined with another character that's coming later. But basically, she's like she sees the group of the protagonists coming, and she has like less than half the men in her units than the protagonist, and she says, I don't fucking care. I'm going to fight." And she's very cool. The design, I think I like it. I also think that this is the kind of design that is like this kind of legs, like tubes, like with no form, like almost no hip, is kind of the design that in animes used to tell you that the character is probably not very attractive, because in anime you really can't tell many times. But I think that, well, not attractive, because that will be like the face, but probably like they are telling you she doesn't have like any kind of voluptuous body. She's like a completely normal girl. But I like the design anyways. In any case, it doesn't really matter. Like I'm going to put her in S, but it's not really going to matter. I'm going to put it in a low S because I basically didn't manage to recruit her because I didn't know that when I found her that you have to do like a specific interaction or specific things during the battle to get her. So when the fight ended, she said like, "Oh, I'm going to go to back to Zenoria," and I thought that, oh, I'm probably going to see her later and recruit her, but apparently no, that was it, and I don't have her, so I can't marry her anyways. Doesn't matter when I put her. Okay, let's see. Next character, Monica. This is another one of those characters that feels like she has like a canonical couple with Clive because she has the whole story about her being the fiancée of Clive when they were younger. And if you look at their support interactions, they're kind of like going a lot about that, and probably they are going to end up together again. So yeah, it's kind of one of those characters that it feels weird to try to romance them. As a character, I think she's cool. Like she's has a sense of humor. She's interesting. Her interactions probably focus way too much on her father more than on her, so you don't see that much of her. The design is very cool. I could go for probably a high A, something like this. She's taken down in points, let's say, but her being probably the romance of Clave. And let's see more characters. Tatiana. Okay, this is a character that I basically have no idea about because I haven't recruited her. I think that I have not done the quest in which you recruit her because I think I have seen something on the internet about it being a quest on the early parts of the game, and I definitely haven't found her anywhere. So I probably passed the opportunity somewhere. So I only have her design. It's okay. I mean, I don't. I kind of like the characters with like tired eyes. Because I haven't heard her speak or anything, I don't really have much more to go with her. So it's going to be like just based on the design, probably a B. Let's see. Okay, Virginia. Virginia's definitely top. It's like she's like a 10. Like I like her a lot more in the game design than the official art design. I think there is like a lot of difference between the two faces. Like she's more, and this is probably the correct one because if you look at the personality, this face fit a lot more her personality than this one. So I'm going to go kind of with this design, and I love this design, like the two seals, hair, and the personality I like a lot too. So I will put her definitely on S. We'll probably narrow this down later, but probably something like this. She has one issue though, very relevant issue probably, that she's your cousin. So that's probably an issue. And also in the story, she acts like your mom. She even mentions herself something like, "I'm not your biological mom, but she's like your mom." So it's kind of a turn off. Uh, but if you think like, okay, it's medieval times, like people marry within their own families, or if you want to be like, I think in the United States it would be like a redneck. In Spanish, we'll say like a norteño, but I think that in English probably is redneck or something like that. So you want to go that route, you don't mind, then yes, it's absolutely S tier, like absolutely perfect character. And let's see. Okay, Leah. Leah is the idea of Virginia. She seems like the image of normal girl, like combine like the hair is like typical like Japanese girl, and then the body is like the body of like normal character. she seems to be like just a normal like Japanese girl who's kind of cute and nothing else. And her personality is kind of like, yeah, she has a lot of parts in the main story, so you see a lot about her. Maybe that's a plus from other characters, that you don't see their personality that much, because the game has so many characters that the main story only has like 5 or 6 of them having any kind of relevant dialogue and parts. And then there's another chunk that has relevant support interactions, and then there's another chunk that has like maybe one support interactions, and you don't have any fucking idea what personality they have. So I think, I mean, she's cute. I could say that, mm, let's say a B, a high B, over here. Okay. Next character, okay. Prim. I don't really have much to say about this character, because this is one of those characters that she appears at some point of the story. She joins you because she wants to help some people that are going to die, and then you kind of forget about her. Like, I use her as a cleric, and it's like she's there, and that's mostly it. Like, the design is not bad, but she's like, she's there. I don't really have much to say about this character, so I'm going to maybe over here, because it's not. I don't have like good things to say about her, but also nothing bad to say against her. So just in the middle. Okay. More. Okay. Berengaria. I think people are going to hate me, but I don't really like Berengaria. Like, personality wise, she's okay. I mean, she's like the aggressive type, and I like that. But she's also the kind of character who just never listens and does whatever, and then it goes badly. And oh no, how could this happen? I wonder. The design, I think her body is kind of weird, like kind of like with Nina. She's like very thin, but also very muscular, which is a weird combination. So I don't know. Like, the face is cool, but I don't really like it that much. I use her a lot because she's basically broken as a unit, probably the most broken unit in the game. Uh, so let's see. Something like, I don't know, over here, I guess. The next character. Liza is top. Liza is just top. Like, she's kind of on the, like, she's the character that you find, like, she's the girl in the boys group. Like, she has literally the personality of like, she has gone all her childhood with a group of men who end up being all like hardened warriors in the desert. They are all like rogues, and yes, that kind of personality, like tomboy, a little of tsundere. Like, personality wise, I like her a lot. I like the hair a lot, but Paris, like, basically is completely flat. That's kind of a negative, probably. But I will put her in. Let's see. We're here or something like that. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Absolutely busted as a unit as well. Like, Arbalesters are just broken. Okay, Rosalind. This character is the only character I have seen in the story so far. I still have story to go. I'm probably about. I mean, I have 2 countries left. this is the only character I have seen that in the story, like not in support interactions or whatever, in the story tries to date the protagonist. Like she has comments like, "Yeah, we are gonna be together a lot" and things like that. And then her support interaction is like her being very, very proactive, trying to date the protagonist. And she's the twin sister, like with the other elf, which is the queen of the elves. I'm not exactly sure how this works because she's a dark elf and the other is a normal elf, and they tell you that there is a difference between these two races, but they are twin sisters. Not sure how that works. It's probably something elvish, but yeah. In any case, yeah, she's top. She's S tier, no doubt. Mm, if anything, no, I don't know. I would say that maybe in some parts she has some inconsistent personality. Also, it's like unclear if she really is like super in love with the protagonist or she's like just playing because she's an elf or something like that. But I'm going to put her on an S. She's S tier. And she's chocolate. I mean, that's a lot of points in my book. Like she goes up a lot because she's chocolate. Celeste, yeah, she's top as well. There are two very good reasons to like this character. I mean, like, holy shit. She's also like pure love. Like, this character is, she's very shy. She's like helping everyone, no matter who they are. Her personal story is kind of like she feels like she's in a fairy tale because she's talking with the prince, and she's one of the few who have like romantic apparent interest in her support interactions. If anything, maybe the bad part is that maybe it's too shy. Like, she's so shy that sometimes can't even react when she's a man appears that she doesn't know and she gets freeze because she's super, super shy. So that probably some people like that. I don't like that much. So she's to be she's going to be an S, but I'm not sure where. Over here, maybe. Probably should. Yeah, I'm not sure. I will narrow it down later, but yeah, I would probably like that. Uh, Too many girls are S tiers, and we are like on half of the girls. That is my fucking problem with this game. Okay, Ridiel is like very, very, very cool as well. Like, she's a half elf. Maybe her story focus a little too much on her being a half elf and not on her as a character. Because her story is about oppression and all of that, but it's maybe too focused on that. I mean, it makes sense in this world because there's really like everyone hates half elves in this world apparently. Uh, but maybe all of her interactions shouldn't be about her being a half elf. I like the design. Overall, the design of the elven archers I like a lot, like the corset and all of these clothes. The face is maybe a little weird. She also has the negative that her personality as a character is kind of like she sells people for money, basically. So she may be over here or something. Let's see. Okay, El Tolinde. She's the queen of the elves and the twin sister of Rosalinde. She's not chocolate, so instantly loses points and goes to a lower tier. Um, body-wise, I mean, she's exactly the same in face and everything to Rosalinde, but she's not chocolate. And the personality, I think, is much worse, so to speak. She's like typical elf, shy, calm, fairy, something like that. I mean, it's not bad, but compared to the other one, who is like a lot more proactive, I prefer Rosalinde. So she's going to go to an A, something like maybe over here. Okay, Vladimir is top as well. Like, I love this character. She, I hate that she only has literally one support interaction. She has nothing else. Like, you see her for the first time when she appears, and she tricks the protagonist with a lie that actually doesn't make that much sense, but it's like, okay, she has like that facet of her personality, and then she has like one interaction, but the interaction is basically that she goes to the protagonist and say, okay, I have to make sure that if you're going to be with my princess, because she's like the right hand of the queen of the elves, that you have to be strong. So I'm going to beat the crap out of you, and she does. Like, the protagonist ends the interaction with like, holy shit, what a fucking monster I have just fought. So she seems to be like super hardcore, and I like the design with the corset and everything, and the hair is very cool as well. So she's definitely an S tier character. Where exactly is the question? That's what I probably will have to decide later. I wanna put her over here now. Okay. Okay, Raylanor. If we are talking just looks, she wins like automatically. Like, I mean, do I have to explain? Like, yeah, like this body and being chocolate, and like, yes, like she wins like automatically. The issue is that yeah, this character doesn't have much interaction, barely appears in the story, and her personality is basically like her master. Like, she's the right hand of Rosalinde, and her personality is like, oh, I'm going to make the protagonist date Rosalinde, and everything that happens is like doing something for Rosalinde, and it's like, okay, your personality is Rosalinde, or what it is. And aside of that, is like the like a stoic type of character. Reminds me a little of Satsuki from Kill la Kill, but she doesn't have like that strong personality that Satsuki has, so that kinda takes her down some points. But she had a better personality, or a more notorious personality, she will be like absolutely her. So I'm going to put her like over here for now. Like, she will be. I'm going to put her here because she will be, based on looks, my first choice. It's like kind of like the personality. Like, maybe later, a thing that I'm going to do anyways is like try to get the interactions between all of the characters to see if I can see something more of the character in some other interactions. Like, not just the interactions with the protagonist. Okay, Unifi. This character is fucking thick. Like, really, she's fucking thick. She's like this girl in the land of the Beastman, and there is also a lot of difference between. I think there was another miscommunication here, because this appearance doesn't match too much how she's in the game later. She's like much more serious and kind of like not a scary cat, but something. Yeah, she doesn't really have the personality that this image would tell you. Visually speaking, very cool. I mean, it's like this combination of character from Frozen and being super thick. Personality-wise, maybe not so much. So let's put her on an A. Over here, for example. Let's see. Okay, Ramona. This is. I mean, yeah, it's weird. I understand kind of like the appeal of the character. I mean, all with boobies. I mean, I'm a Monster Girl fan, but I'm not a furry, which is a different thing. I'm not really that much of a fan. I mean, I can understand uh, some people liking her because the concept is like probably something new and like old boobs, but I'm not that much of a fan of this design. So let's put her like a C, something like this. Then, okay, this is a character that I will put a lot on the top because personality-wise, I think is very cool. Is that the thing is that like, any other character in her same class looks better than her. Like her class is like the Werewolves. I don't know if they are scouts or something, but basically you pick up any random Werewolves that you generate in the barracks, and the design is way better than this. So it's like pick this character and erase this design and put whatever on other design from the Werewolves, and then she's like a top character, but right, that is now like a B, I don't know, something like this. Mm. Okay, Rain is actually that the next three characters I haven't found them yet, which is another reason I'm probably, regardless of what I decide here, I'm probably going to wait a little more until I see these two characters and a few more interactions. It's a character that's going to come in the next country that I go. Design wise, I think it's very, very cool. I like all of the Angel characters, they're very cool in design. I don't think that she's going to be much different in personality than Oxley's. Probably going to be like angelic, Holly Dunhow character. Like maybe I'm mistaken. And they have three angel characters, so maybe they have different personalities. It will make sense that they do that, but I'm not sure because a lot of characters in this game have personalities that are not that different because they are kind of muted. The translation doesn't help at all because the localization is fucking bad, and any interaction that the characters have that doesn't have sound, that you can hear the character speak in Japanese, you basically don't even know what personality they have because the English text just does like a baseline uh, in all English text in which all characters speak exactly the same and you don't really see a difference among them. If they have dialogue in Japanese in audio, then you can see that they have a difference. But if they have, if it's a character that doesn't have a lot of, uh, it doesn't show a lot in the main story and only shows up in like secondary quests or support interactions, then they don't have audio and it's very hard to tell that they have a different personality. But we will see. So for now, I'm going to, based on design alone, like these two characters are very cool in design. So if they have a cool personality, they will probably go up to an S. And basically the same for this character. Like no, I don't really have anything else to add. Like I haven't found the characters yet. I will see. She looks like a Karen, I would say. uh, Similar as well to Manuela. No, what is the character in the Three Houses who has a Spanish name? I think it was Manuela actually. She has like a Spanish name, like has like a face like her. So maybe she's a cougar too, an angel cougar. So I'm going to put her over here as well. Okay, Amalia. So this character is like probably can see it very well. So like a normal human is like this. Like she's absolutely huge. Like it's a fucking monster of a character. Uh, she's also probably like one of the strongest, if not the strongest in story character because she's like the final boss of the Coliseum. I like her design a lot more than Berengaria and Berenice. I think they did the character proportions a lot better than those characters. Like she's fucking huge, and you notice that she's strong, but it's not like a culturist or something. So I like her design a lot more. She's also like it's like I'm one of my salamanders. Like I'm gonna fight the strongest opponent because I'm the strongest. So she's very cool. Probably not like considering like if this entire line of characters wasn't here, she will be like choice for wife. But because there's like 10 characters that I like even more, she's going to be like something like Eva. Yeah, something like that. It's a low S, top A, something like that. And normally she will be like wife, but considering all of this line of characters, she's probably not going to be. I think this is the last one. It's Hilda. She's like typical Viking type of character, very serious. Mm, She appears in the story sometimes, but she doesn't have like a personality that is noticed as much. So she's like I don't know, in the middle, typical character that is there and you don't hate it or like it particularly much. So it's going to be like over here, I guess, or whatever. Okay, so that is the lineup. I think this is all of the playable characters. There's some other characters but aren't playable, I think, or maybe they are playable but I kill them because there's Alcina that over there, but I kill her. Uh, so let's see how the fuck I will decide this. Yeah, that's the issue. How the fuck do I decide? Like, I'm guessing that these two are not going to be first because she's not. I don't have her, and this one is probably not as much as these ones. So she will be like one of this line. So I will have to find some way to narrow this down even more. So let's see. How do I do this? Let's look for, I don't know, practical things. Sylvie probably, like I say, this if you marry her, it's gonna be like, oh, okay, we're married, whatever. Like she's not going to care. Probably not going to be like the best partner, so to speak. Like even if she's like super hot and also she's like a hunch down all day, probably not going to last much. Uh, what else? Well, there is advantage to certain characters in that, like for example, all of these characters of this line of characters, they're going to live a lot of time. That they are not going to. You are going to get old, but they are not. They are. You are going to die, and they are going to be there as young people because they are elves and shit like that. So there's an advantage in that, but I don't really know if Jana can do that again, like become young again, or she's going to die in 10 years of old or something like that. So no idea. So I guess we can drop her a little. Let's see. These two characters. I mean, she's your cousin. But she's very cool. I I think that this I think that I don't like in Virginia is that they had something in the story that they could do very well for her, but they didn't. And it's that like they tell you that she played with the protagonist when he was like 5 and she was a teenager, and they don't do anything with that. Like there's nothing in the interactions of the character that is romantic in any way, and she acts like your mom sometimes. And I think that they could have gone for something like she was your crush when you were like a kid, and then she left because of the war, and you spent 10 years apart, and then you find her now and you both are adults, and it's like so they could have gone for something like that, and I think that that will have made an interesting story that bumps her a lot in the romance part, but they don't do like they just tell you that when they were kids, like they played chess and things like that, and they don't do anything with it. So it's kind of weird. Like, mm, then these two are very close to each other, very similar in probably how much I like them. Mm, I don't know if maybe like it's a little something like that. Liza is very cool, but I don't like that much like her interactions with the protagonist because she at the beginning she's like full tomboy, but in her interactions goes a lot more like typical tsundere, like she changes a little, and it's not very clear which of the two parts of personality are more relevant. So that drops her a little. So probably one of these four. At least we narrow it down to four, I guess. Yeah, I think that probably what I'm going to do because I also have like the last interaction with Virginia. You can do it only in the last country, and I haven't gotten there yet. So I guess that I'm going to try to do for this entire row of characters interactions among them to see if they have something that I like more, and advance the story to see if these characters go up or something. And with that, I probably will decide between this line over here and maybe these two. Yeah, it's kind of very hard. I mean, as I say, this it will be this character if it was just based on looks, because these two characters like are the chocolate waifus of the game. If this character had this personality, for example, this personality will be like automatically like there's nothing else to say. Like it will be just that or the personality of Virginia, maybe. So yeah, let's say that we have managed to narrow it down to these four, and I will see when I continue the game if I become a redneck or I get a wife that is 10 times as stronger than me or a wife that will prefer that I fuck her master, something like that. Yeah, I think we did like that. So you can write after watching this, you can leave a comment saying which one of these girls is your favorite. It's probably not going to sway my opinion because my opinions are my own, but yeah, you can leave comments about which ones you like it more or less. And yeah, this was like just a random thing. I don't think I will do. Well, maybe in the future there's another game with a lot of waifus. I will do the same again, but let's leave it here. If you want to see videos about drawing and stuff, you can subscribe to the channel or join my Patreon with my same name. And goodbye, I guess. And now let's see if I know how to fucking end a transmission with this. Aquí.